First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashemi, Oshai, Ba'ashemi, Kakodash. We said about the apostles and elders agreements and the rule well. Our teachers, our apostles in the shoot, and we say salutations, holy account to the push on truth and say day in and day out. Then we constantly season, we say Shalom. And once again, going into that video here. And I would like to open with a scripture. This is the book of Sirach, which is the book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25. And I'll read verse 19. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Now going into this news article here, which is something as a suicide that happened basically last night, right? Where a man took his life for his woman because he caught her talking to another man, right? And this was the early what I would read here is the earlier article, and I just read before I sat down to do the video. I read a more recent article that went into it more in depth, but it's basically the same thing, right? So going into the article here, it was said that the now deceased had an argument with his girlfriend over her conversations with another man. These interactions have been going on for some time. Now, in the other article that I said I read, they said that wasn't the first time he catch her talking to another man. Now, this is the society this is the kingdom and the society that we living in, where a woman could do these things proudly, right? And they're doing it. Now, as a man, you have to show yourself as a man. As scripture says, give the water no passion and so forth. But these women, they in this place, society, the system and so forth, they give them the authority, right, to do these things, right? So it was said that the now deceased had an argument with his girlfriend over her conversation with another man. These interactions had been going on for some time. Cumberbatch was overheard saying that he was fed up and that he's going to hang himself, right? They say he was later discovered by his brother-in-law, who informed the officers of his passing. So he basically took his life for the woman, right? That who he catch talking to who? Another man. Now, when I read the other article, right? When I was reading the other article, they said that he was actually building a house for her, right? So you could see he was doing things for her, and she was basically talking to other men. Which you go into the scriptures, that is what she's talking to another man. Basically, she deal with other men, right? And we don't know in this time when a girl talking to another man doing these things for another man, you know what's going on. You know what's taking place, right? So this youth here, he take his life. I think he was like 20 something years or 20 years, something fairly, you know. So yeah, so that way it says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And you know anything about it? This year, listen, hold on, these dogs. And as I was saying before I pause, this part coming up here is a crazy part. They say the girlfriend was shocked. The girlfriend was in shock a little and he was told, however, the first thing she asked for was his bank card. So she get the information that her boyfriend, right, the husband, was basically he now hung himself for her, and the first thing she asked for was his bank card. So you get to understand what the scripture is saying is the wickedness, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. You understand? It's but little wickedness to a woman, right? She know here she husband died. The first thing she asked for is for his bank card. Now when you read the other article, the other articles I say is a little more in depth, but it's basically the same thing. They said that when she came and she get to find out, she asked for his phone and his bank card one time, right? And I believe his sister went to make a report, and the officers told the sister that they can't do nothing for that because she was basically living with him. So she had rights to take that, right? So this is just the place that we're living in. But nonetheless, this is show you how wicked these women are in this time that we in. You know, when I was reading this, these scriptures come to my mind. I'm reading the scripture here. This is the same book of Sirach, chapter 25, verse 13. It says, "Give me any plague, but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness, but the wickedness of a woman." right? So let's imagine that. Sirach saying, give me any plague but the plague of the heart. And you can see this fella here, he was plaguing the heart, right? And I say what? I say, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, so he got that. He received the wickedness of a woman, and you could see just by the way how she react right after his death, you could see how wicked this woman is. The first thing she did was ask for his bank and his phone. And what you feel she gonna do? She gonna spend it on the, and she basically gonna spend it on the same man she talking to. Now she get freedom to do everything she feel to, and again, even if he was still wrong, that ain't gonna stop she from going with other men. We living in this time that they don't care. You know, they can commit how much idolatry they can and feel to do, and it is what it is. Right? So going on, it's a verse 30, it's referred to give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, and any affliction but the affliction from them that hate me, and any revenge but the revenge of the enemies. There is no head above the head of the serpent, and there is no wrath above the wrath of an enemy. I had rather dwell Now here the species, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. So you get to understand, and again, as I said, he was they said in the other article that he was building a house for her. So he basically he and she would have been dwelling in the house, and the scripture telling here, I had rather dwell with a lion and a dragon. This is dwell with a lion and a dragon. Let us go the lion alone. This is dwell with a lion. And Sirach saying, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. So you rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house, than to be in that house, to stay in this house with a wicked woman. And these is the kind of things you get when you're dealing with what? A wicked woman. And the majority of the women today, the wicked herself. The wicked. And again, some of these men outside here be encouraging the wickedness. But again, the scriptures don't lie. Straight as this, telling you I'd rather dwell in a house with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. These are the kind of things that is end up with when you're dwelling with a wicked woman. And again, him killing himself, not going to stop her from going into other men, because she was doing it when he was alive. I say you have to take heed to these women outside here, because they would do this stuff here, and they would be like, what? I ain't do nothing. That wasn't my fault. Right? Let me just read something here. This is the book of and now we see the woman that we supposed to be dealing with, and we supposed to be having in us as well, is wisdom. And the scriptures tell us that. Right? These women, they're far gone, they westernized. You know? Let me get wait, this one. Let me get a scripture here. I think it's Proverbs chapter. Oh, this is Proverbs chapter 30, verse 20. It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman, right? An adulterous woman. It says, she eateth and wipeth her mouth, and saith, I have done no wickedness. So she would do all these things, and she would say, what? I ain't done nothing. I ain't do nothing. I've done no wickedness. When there's proof, it had to have proof to showing that she was talking to other men. Dealing with other men, and again, in this day and age we live in, when a girl talking to a man, is because she dealing with him. She dealing with him. And some of these men outside here, hey, that way you see these 2/3 and these people that be destroyed. You understand? The wicked had to be destroyed. Because some men outside here would know, like he talking to a girl, and she living with a man and so forth, and she living with the man in it. And he would still try to push up there, and he would still do the woman. Like wickedness. Like wickedness. Right? It says, such is the way of an adulterous woman. She eateth and wipeth her mouth and said, I have done no wickedness. And she would be like, I done nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong. And would have other women to agree with her. You know? On the comments, yes, queen, you do you. Forget he done dead and gone. You know what they just be on the comment board. You understand? Right? So jumping back into the surah, right? So I'm gonna jump to verse 17. It said, the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. And now you see some of these women, they went on the heavy makeup to hide the wickedness. Because it now say what the wickedness of a woman changeth her face. Because you just see it when the natural face, you just see, but how you looking so? You just hear men tell women, how you looking so? Different, they're looking more dark looking thing, but I'll make up this lighting and make them look more fearing, you know. So he said the wickedness of a woman changeth her face and darkeneth her countenance like sackcloth. Her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, he shall sigh bitterly. So he might have been around his friends, but around his same own family. Hey, your wife, hey, your girl doing this, your girl doing that, boy, thing, you know. And he, because with the next article, I think they said that he went to check his cousin, but his cousin went to work. And because his cousin wasn't there and he could not talk to his cousin, he basically went and killed himself right after. Right? But it's a show you like the talk and he build up the talk and so forth. It heavy heart, heavy spirit. Right? It say her husband shall sit among his neighbors, and when he heareth it, he shall sigh bitterly. So he ain't now wickedness he guilt doing. He sigh. Right? And the interesting thing about it, the other article said that wasn't the first time she did it, and that wasn't the first time there was an argument for it. So she was constantly and consistently doing it. You see, right? So you see verse 19, you say, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And thy what? Thy debt. Thy debt. That is what going to fall upon all you wicked women, death. You see, as the climbing of a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. And here how true the scriptures, and I tell you how true the scriptures is, right? Is that when I was reading the other article just now that the news page put out, right? They were saying he was such a quiet person. He was a quiet boy. He didn't talk much and so forth. And he listened to what the scripture now said. Also, the climbing up a sandy way is to the feet of the aged, so is a wife full of words to a quiet man. Wow. Scriptures don't lie. Scriptures don't lie. Say, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure. A woman, if she maintain a husband, is full of anger, impudence, and much reproach. A wicked woman abated the courage, maketh an heavy countenance and a wounded heart. Here we say a wicked woman abated the courage, making an heavy and countenance and a wounded heart. So you can see that way we're going through. You're dealing with what? A wicked woman. So what? Had heavy countenance and wounded heart. To the fact where he took his own life. And she just gonna continue doing the wickedness that she was doing before. Now she had the freedom to do so. Right? That will not comfort her husband and a wounded heart. A woman that will not comfort her husband in distress, make it weak hands and feeble knees. And that was going on. He was going through what? Distress. And she wasn't comforting him. She was comforting other man. Hey, the scriptures do lie. And I see these women outside here, you're supposed to be paying no attention to them. You understand? Pay no attention to them. It say of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Through her we all die. It say give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to guard abroad. And again, if they said that this wasn't the first time he did that, you see, once it happened the first time, just done with it one time. Because he knows she can go and continue to do it. Cut it off one time. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh, and give her a bill of divorce, and let her go. You see, that first time, don't make it a second time. Because this is what going on. You're dealing with a wicked woman. Right? This how she reacting, how she dealing is this how majority of these women outside there are. Majority. That's why when you read the book of Ecclesiastes, it tell you what that he didn't find even one righteous woman. Just roughly paraphrasing. Hey, so with that we give all praises, honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yoshai, Ba'Shem Kakodash. We say that when the apostles and elders agree most in the well, or teachers or apostles and shoot, and we say salutations, so the architect push your truth and say, Dean and the out. You know, constantly in season we say, Shalom.